Loris Karius. The 2018 UEFA Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid was one of the biggest nights in football for Loris Karius. He was in goal for a team that wanted to win the European Cup, and it was a night full of hope and excitement. But things went wrong in the second half. Karim Benzema put Karius under pressure, and when Karius tried to roll the ball out quickly, Benzema intercepted it and sent it into the net. The crowd was stunned. No one could believe what they had just seen. Minutes later, Gareth Bale took a long-range shot that slipped through Karius's hands and crossed the line. It left his teammates and fans around the world speechless. Two mistakes in the same final had changed everything and given Real Madrid a big advantage. After the match, medical tests revealed that Karius had suffered a concussion from a collision with Sergio Ramos earlier in the game. But the damage was already done. Social media was filled with threats and abuse. Some fans even sent him death threats, and any sympathy for his injury seemed small compared to the anger. Karius's career never really recovered. He went on loan to other clubs, but for many people, that night in Kiev became his legacy. His name was linked to those moments, overshadowing all his other performances. His story is a reminder that even one mistake, even one caused by injury, can change a career forever. It also shows that the love of the game can sometimes turn into cruelty. Steven Gerrard. Liverpool steadily climbed to the top of the Premier League during the 2013-14 season, with Steven Gerrard leading them both on and off the field. Fans believed the long wait for a league title might finally be over, thanks to his performances and experience. The match against Chelsea at Anfield was a key moment in the season. If Liverpool had won, they would have been in a strong position to take the championship. Early in the first half, a simple pass from the defense rolled toward Gerrard. As he tried to control it, the ball slipped under his foot and rolled behind him. Demba Ba from Chelsea saw his chance, ran past Gerrard and scored easily. Liverpool kept attacking after the goal, but Chelsea's defense stayed solid. Liverpool lost the match, and their title hopes took a hit. For many fans, Gerrard's slip became a symbol of how the team fell apart in the final moments. Gerrard's disappointment was clear in the days that followed. Manchester City took advantage of Liverpool's struggles and won the title. That moment was more than just a mistake for Gerrard. It became a part of his career that people talked about over and over again. Even so, he remained dedicated to Liverpool, and his leadership continued to inspire the team. The 2013-14 season, which ended in heartbreak, showed how Gerrard's legacy lives on and how close football can be to both victory and heartbreak. David Beckham. The heat of summer in France matched the excitement of the World Cup. Everyone was eager to see how England would perform, and David Beckham carried the hopes of an entire country. He was at the heart of England's attack, known for his passing and striking skills. The match against Argentina was filled with tension. During the game, Diego Simeone tackled Beckham, sending him to the ground. In a moment of frustration, Beckham flicked his leg toward the Argentine player. It was a small move, but it caught the referee's attention. A red card was shown right away. England, now playing with 10 men, fought hard to stay in the match. After extra time, the score was still tied, leading to a penalty shootout. England's history with penalties came back to haunt them, and they were knocked out of the tournament. Back home, the reaction was swift and harsh. Beckham's sending off made fans angry all across the country. Headlines criticized him, crowds booed his name, and effigies of him were burned in the streets. Even though he faced so much criticism, Beckham's determination never wavered. His club stood by him, and he worked hard to prove himself again. In the following seasons, he turned jeers into cheers. His performances reminded everyone that a player can learn from his mistakes, but doesn't have to let them define him. Christian Eriksen. After months of uncertainty, the 2021 European Championship brought fans back to the stands. Denmark's first game against Finland was especially meaningful because it was a chance to bring the team and its supporters together again. Christian Eriksen, one of Denmark's best players, started the game with his usual calmness, but just before halftime, the game took a shocking turn. Eriksen collapsed on the field without any warning, even though he didn't have the ball. The mood in the stadium changed instantly from excitement to fear. Teammates waved frantically for medical help, and players from both teams watched in disbelief. Medical staff worked quickly on the field. Fans sat in silence, counting every second. Eriksen's partner in the stands struggled to hold back tears, and the entire football world held its breath. It felt like forever before Eriksen was carried off the field on a stretcher. He was conscious but looked pale. The match was stopped as both teams tried to understand what had just happened. Later that night, Denmark's Football Federation announced that Eriksen was stable and had received an implantable defibrillator to monitor his heart. Getting back to football wasn't easy for Eriksen, but he never gave up. He returned to playing club football and then rejoined Denmark's national team. Sir Bobby Charlton. The Manchester United team had just reached the top of European football. The players were in high spirits, excited to share their experiences back home. Bobby Charlton, still building his reputation as a rising star, sat with the same quiet focus he had shown on the field. As the plane made its third attempt to take off from the slushy runway in Munich, it hit a patch of ice and suddenly sped up. The engines roared as the plane skidded. In just a few seconds, the pride of English football was torn apart in a scene of chaos and confusion. Charlton survived the crash and found himself on the snowy ground, dazed and surrounded by debris. The cold was so harsh that the cries of the injured and the silence of the lost filled the air. A teammate pulled him from the wreckage. He was shaken but alive, carrying the shock of survival with him. While he recovered in the hospital, Charlton learned the names of those who had died. They were teammates, friends, and a whole generation of players who would never play again. He felt survivor's guilt, a feeling that every future goal and every match would be played in their memory. Charlton thought about Munich often in the years that followed, even when he won the European Cup in 1968. That victory was bittersweet, a reminder of the price paid by those who never made it home. Andrés Escobar. Andrés Escobar had become a symbol of Colombian soccer. He was one of his country's best hopes at the World Cup, known for his calm and reliable defending. Colombia faced the United States in a crucial Group H match during the 1994 World Cup. The team was there to win, and many expected them to be one of the tournament favorites. In the 35th minute, the United States attacked down the right side. A low cross came into the penalty area, and Escobar tried to stop the ball from reaching a dangerous position. But his outstretched leg sent the ball in a strange direction toward his own goal. It surprised goalkeeper Oscar Cordoba and ended up in the net. The crowd went silent, and the scoreboard showed a moment that would haunt Colombia. Colombia tried to equalize in the final minutes, but the U.S. defense held strong. The U.S. won the match 2-1. Colombia's loss all but ended their tournament hopes and left the team deeply disappointed. Escobar believed that when he returned home, his people would understand and support him, but illegal betting rings and organized crime groups in Colombia had lost a lot of money because of the team's early exit. Escobar's unlucky deflection carried consequences far beyond the football pitch. A few days after the game, Escobar got into an argument with a group of men outside a nightclub in Medellin. 6 gunshots rang out, killing him in a city already on edge. Many people attended his funeral to honor both the footballer and the man who stood for sportsmanship and dignity. His own goal ended not just a match, but a life, showing how football's passions can sometimes be dangerous. The Chapecoense plane crash. In the last few hours before sunrise, the Chapecoense team flew over a sea of clouds, their thoughts divided between tactical plans and the families waiting for them at home. Some closed their eyes, envisioning the roar of the stadium. Others whispered quiet prayers for luck. The plane carried the weight of possibility, its engines sounding steady and the cabin filled with anticipation. But fate wasn't to blame. Over the Andes, the aircraft's engines flamed out, not due to mechanical failure, but because it ran completely out of fuel. A flawed flight plan, skipping a planned refueling stop, and a delayed declaration of emergency left the aircraft powerless just miles from its destination. In that moment, hope turned into a desperate struggle. The plane became less a vessel of possibility and more a coffin of steel and fire. The first thing Alan Russell noticed was the strong smell of smoke. His body wouldn't respond, but his spirit refused to give in. Jackson Follman's world shattered into fragments. Brief flashes of awareness between darkness and pain. Neto, drifting between consciousness and nightmare, felt the cold pressure of twisted metal, a heart-rending reminder that the game they'd come to play would never begin. In the aftermath, the world watched and hoped. Russell's first steps on crutches became a beacon of resilience. Follman's defiant smile, though he'd lost a leg, redefined what true strength looks like. Neto's silent determination to rebuild his life spoke more loudly than any stadium applause. The Chapecoense tragedy reshaped how the world views football. From the wreckage rose not just stories of sorrow, but lives that refused to be forgotten. Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique's coaching career has always been marked by his sharp tactical mind and unwavering focus. He went from playing for Barcelona to managing the team, winning trophies and earning praise from fans and experts, but no match or final could have prepared him for the news that would change his life forever. In 2019, his daughter Zana was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a rare and aggressive form of bone cancer. From that moment on, Enrique's life changed completely. Training grounds and press conferences no longer mattered compared to hospital rooms and endless medical visits. Every day was a new challenge, a new fight that no coaching manual could help him win. As Zana's condition worsened, Enrique chose to step away from football. He decided to be with his daughter rather than on the sidelines. No trophy could fill the emptiness left by her death in August 2019. Grief settled over him like a shadow, a constant reminder of how fragile everything he had built really was. Enrique returned to coaching a few months later. The stadium still cheered for him, his team still fought for every ball, and his tactics still made a difference. But in the moments of victory, when the cameras flashed and the confetti fell, he felt it. The small, bright smile that used to greet him at home was gone. In the end, he lifted the Champions League trophy again. But there was one thing missing in his life. Football isn't always just about joy. It's also a sport where we sometimes witness its dark and heartbreaking moments at certain points in our lives. Which event in this video do you think was the most tragic? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Until the next video, take care.